welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys a soup that I typically make whenever I'm feeling sick or whenever I have cravings, different things like that. It tastes really good and it also feels really good to eat because there's not a lot of salt in it and it's actually pretty good for you, okay? So what I have here, I have some pork necks. I typically do smoked turkey necks, but they didn't have any in the store. Okay, and I'm using chicken broth, but you could also sub out vegetable broth if you wanted to as well. And then I'm using some kale greens. The kale greens I just got from Walmart. It's a mix and I just use one bag for a pot, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the broth. So for the broth, I usually do one of those as well. I may fill that up with water and add some more as I go. It just depends on the liquid to, meat and greens ratio, okay? So this is obviously gonna be a greens pot. And so you can opt out on the meat if you would like. It's not gonna be as flavorful. The greens do get some flavor and some salt from the meat as well. Okay, and as you can see, I've laid out the ingredients so you guys can see. And what I've done here is I've actually washed my greens. You could see that they're pretty clean as well. They came in the bag. They're already clean beforehand, but I want to make sure that they're good. I cleaned the pork necks as well, so those are ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in there with the broth. So what I've done with the broth is I've gone ahead and heated it up so that things can move a little bit faster. I did that while I was washing everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually add the seasonings in there before I throw in the greens as well as the pork necks, okay? So I obviously have some salt and some black pepper, but I also add red cayenne pepper, which is key in something like this. We have Tony Chachere's, which is a go-to. It helps with the salt flavor, not too much though. Then I wanna add some thyme. That's gonna up the flavor level. All right, and so then I'm gonna add some seasonal. That's a little bit more salt, and as you can see, I'm not going too heavy with the things that I have for salt, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pork necks in first, and the reason I'm doing that is I actually want them to kind of become soft and fall off the bone before I'm putting in the greens. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a stir so that I can make sure all those seasonings are not just sitting on the top. All right, and so it's gonna seep into the pork necks to give it a little bit more salt and more flavor. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pressure cook that. So it's typically gonna be for about 30 minutes. Now my pressure cooker, the one I was using right here, was actually not working very well. So I did have to switch it out to use a better one. So as you can see right here, it's gotten a bit softer. And so what I did was I cooked it down enough, even though I had to pressure cook it a few times to make sure that it was soft enough. And when it did, I deboned it. And as you can see, it looks like it's a lot less, but the meat is still there. It's just no bone in it. You don't have to do that, but I did to make it easier to eat. All right, and so now I'm putting in the kale greens. I'm putting in the kale greens now that everything is cooked down, the meat is soft. I'm gonna go ahead and mush that down a little bit so that nothing is getting stuck to the top and I can get liquid on all of the greens. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pressure cook that as well. Now typically when I put the greens in, I pressure cook it twice. The first time the greens are soft, but if it's still bitter when you bite into it, the greens, then it does need to pressure cook a little bit longer. You'll know it's done when the greens are fully soft, there's no bitterness. All right, and so now I'm finally done with pressure cooking it and everything's kind of come together. The flavors have come together as well. The broth is already flavored with those seasonings from earlier as well as the meat, and the greens take on that flavor. And so this is our finished product. This is our greens, our kale soup, whatever you would like to call it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great rest of your day.